And hello, welcome once again to Toy Soldiers Old School. This is episode 64, which I am calling Cry Havoc. I apologize for the lighting in here. My light burnt out before I had the chance to go, well, too late to go get another one before the game started. So, hello, I'm Diane Morrison. I'm known online as Save Laradia. I'm the creator of the Toy Soldier Saga. I will be the primary game master for this game. When I am not game mastering, I play Captain Celine Wintermist. She is an idealistic young elven priestess who joined the Avalonian Imperial Marine Corps in order to see the universe and maybe help some people out along the way. Unfortunately, war has arrived at her doorstep and she will do her duty. My and her pronouns are she or they, and we'll go over to the only other person who has the guts to be on camera regularly, Rowan.
Hi everyone, I'm Rowan. I play Lady Fonvin Starsong, who is an ensign in the Avalonian Imperial Marines. Originally she signed up for the Imperial Navy, but to see the stars, flying starseed ships, which are amazing, and see new planets, creatures, and plants and animals. And by virtue of a bug suit, she is now a Marine, and that's been interesting. And she's discovered some family she didn't know she had, got a boyfriend, maybe two, and her pronouns are she, her, and so are mine.
Awesome. Let's go over to the right hand side on my screen, Chris.
Hello, my name is Chris. I play Arian. He's the kind of grizzled older dude in the party. He's ex-enlisted. Thought he was ex-commoner. Finds out he is actually a duke and has been promoted to be an officer. And yeah, he says it is his job to keep these guys alive. He's the original Marine in the group, and our pronouns are he, him.
Awesome. And then we'll go down to Aaron.
Hey, tonight due to illness, the part of Aaron will be played by Aaron. I'm Aaron.
Who needs to either speak up or turn up his mic a bit.
My mic's fucking being stupid again.
Yep.
Okay, give me a minute.
You want to go on to someone else while you're screwing around a
Yeah,
bit?
go on to somebody else.
Okay, we'll go over to Taz, is what we'll do.
Hi, my name is Taz, also known as Gmino99 on the internet. I play Arden Spellsword, a Magus Kensai crafter. Pretty much, that's pretty much it. Yep.
Is that better?
Yes, considerably.
Yes.
All right, and your pronouns?
He, him.
Awesome. Well, we'll move back over to Aaron.
Oh, yeah, I'm back. Oh, sorry, pardon me. I'm Aaron, known online as Aaron Ree, right, which is spelled exactly as it's pronounced, R-I-G-H. Right? I play the part of Ruavel Sunfall, who is destined to become the father of the protagonist of the Toy Soldier Saga. Assuming he doesn't die and...
Assuming that Celine doesn't murder him, because she's going to be his wife and the mother of the protagonist, theoretically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our pronouns are he, they.
Perfect. And then we'll go over to Siobhan.
Hello. I'm Siobhan the Writer, also known, I will be playing the part of Lilith, Lieutenant, don't call me Lilith Madrimlian. He's an altruistic elf who joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy out of family obligations and has been since transferred to the Marine Corps due to his bug suit. He was looking at intelligence and decided that Black Ops might be better, but intelligence is still a part of that. So, his pronouns are he, they, mine are she, her.
Awesome. And to Blake.
Hi, I'm Blake. I'll be playing the part of Crowley, a Phoenok, a feline-like race of my own creation. along with his friend Yasma, who freed him from captivity. On grand adventures, we joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy. We are now part of the Avalonian Marine Corps, and due to new developments, Crowley's also members on Mouse,
Yep.
and our pronouns are he, him.
Crime, crime, crime. Okay. Awesome. And last but definitely not least, Dawn.
Hi, I'm Dawn. I play Yasma Snowwind. I was a orphan, joined the Navy on a whim with my friend Crowley. And since then, I've discovered I'm not an orphan. I have sisters and a dad, and of course the family that I work with every day. And yeah, my pronouns are she, her, and so is Yasma.
Awesome. All right. When last we left our intrepid heroes, intelligence officers report, please.
Intelligence Officer Report Supplemental. We have just departed the planet on a scouting mission to see if we can mess up the enemy. Of course, the note that was sent to headquarters through a dockhand, I believe it was, or dock worker, is that unless we are told otherwise, this is what we're doing. Of course, by the time it gets there, we're gone. And that's pretty much where we were.
You better ask for forgiveness than permission. Yep.
Yep.
Hello to our chat crew. This is a unique element of our game. We have people in the chat with a 100,000 channel point reward. You can choose I want to play. That lets you play as sort of semi-PC in our world, very important NPCs who often get to act independently and may or may not have an lasting effect on the outcome of the adventure. So pretty much everybody I see is part of that. I don't think Gala is, but Stretch is part of the chat crew. Dragon Magpie, Dazzle Cat.
Fluna is not either
Nope,
yet.
that's true.
I will use that yet lightly.
Yeah, Gala might be a yet too. He's been
Yeah.
like, I want to play with you guys, so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yet, says F Luna. Yeah, F Luna's just sitting there building up channel points. That's what's going on. So, yeah. Nimmelin, I'm going to try and stay out of trouble, says Magpie. Meets Dazzle Cat. Quill. Lol. Crime. Yeah, we NPCs with delusion of grandeur. Yes, sadly, Gala is not part of the chat crew, just a person listening. Yeah.
Gala, you probably have the 100,000 to get in.
More
It just wouldn't be for this game session.
Stretch says, damn, Mivolith and Barbarossa had an idea after last week. Totally forgot about it till now. What was the idea? In the meantime, of course, we are scouting out for the enemy fleet. He's good just listening for now. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he's got enough, all right.
Oh, yeah.
136.3k. Okay, so I don't particularly want you guys to get into this fight. I have other things planned. So, I don't know. What was the suggestion about, should I just, you don't find anything, space is big, or you guys see a great ginormous fleet and go, we'd better go warn people instead. We were discussing that prior to the game.
Yeah, the one where it's like, oh, nope, that's the whole damn fleet. No targets of opportunity there. Let's go back.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not.
I think they have us outnumbered by a lot.
Impact detonating
But we could,
incendiary rounds. Oh.
but we could get some idea of how many there are and if our bargain with the goblins and how the ships are peeling off or anything.
Okay, I didn't quite catch. I heard get an idea of how many there are.
And see if our bargain with the goblins is paying off. See if we see any ships, peeling away from the fleet.
Right. Yeah, duly noted. Daz puts final touches to the new space skid and the mounted mini bolt, a backpack with accessories. Magpie says, "Oh yeah, what was it? Barbarossa gave me a cool idea for a hidden sword too. Cool." If Luna says, on a side note, "I'm afraid my mind is too dirty. Booty coins just sounds wrong." It actually did cross my mind when I created the name of the channel point reward, but I decided it was still the proper word in a privateer fleet, right? So I went with it anyway. So if you think your mind is too dirty, just remember I thought of it when I did it and went, yeah, I don't care. So. Sable coin booty. Yeah, baby got back. What? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, glorified pirates. Privateers. Yep, legit. Alright, so. Yes, you guys see the whole damn fleet, basically. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Start counting and estimating. Dreadnoughts, men of war, frigates, smaller ships.
Call Dazzlecat up.
Call Dazzlecat up?
Yep.
Okay.
Tell him to bring a clipboard and pen.
You're like distant again.
Tell him to bring a clipboard and pen.
Okay.
Sorry, I put my. And then start calculating. I see 16 dreadnoughts. 42 man of wars, whatever, right? Start counting and estimating.
Okay, I'm not exactly certain, right? Because here's the thing. At the height of its power, the British Royal Navy had about 1,000 ships in its fleet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, we've already taken out how many?
12.
Yeah. Right? I mean, that's a lot.
12 smaller ships, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, is this the only attack that's coming? Are we the only system that's currently under attack? Is it the full enemy fleet? Is it a portion? We know we've bribed a bunch of goblins to take the fuck off, so.
It's at least a couple hundred ships. Let's just say that.
Yeah, okay.
So your numbers probably aren't too far off there, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we see anything that we have never seen before?
That is a good question.
Yeah, anything that doesn't show up in the ship recognition guide.
I wonder how new their Scorpion design is. I think perhaps yes. Or did I call it a Scorpion? No, it was what did I call it?
Dragonfly, I thought.
Not yet. Nope, that's next war. If we can see them, can they see us? Highly likely. Okay, I see your idea, Stretch, and I have Rowan's question, right? Same as a medieval bomb, like a hollowed out cannonball, but covered in studs, a bit like those found in a football boot, but bigger. This is to stop it rolling around if it hits the enemy deck and going off the side, but instead of a lit fuse, it has a vial inside that cracks open on impact, spilling out something like magnesium or similar. This creates the spark needed for the detonation of the gunpowder and liquid fuel, Greek fire napalm kind of stuff. Of course, yeah. Are you guys like alchemists? A safety, a tube that keeps it stable but comes out in
Yeah,
flight.
I have
Sparkles
to agree
did.
with Rowan on that one. Firing out of the catapult could possibly set it off.
Yep. Which is
There's a big jerk right at the beginning when the catapult goes off.
You guys are going to have to work up this idea a bit more fully before I'm going to agree to it. Is basically what I'm saying, right? Technicals are important, right? How
And
would
say more. Go ahead.
no? Go ahead.
Were you asking about the fighter carrier? Because that's the Goliath Scorpion from the first star recognition guide.
Right. Okay.
No, they don't have those yet. Those don't come out until the
What, the scorpions?
second war. Goliath Scorpions.
Yeah, that's right. Goliath
Fighter
scorpions until the
carriers.
second war. Yeah.
The troop carrier is the Goliath Beetle. The battle cruiser is the Royal Ant. The dreadnought is the Locust.
Ah, that's right.
Man of War is the Hornet / Dragonfly.
Hornet was
Sloop
the one
is
that they were using this time.
That's right.
Sloop is.
Sloop of War is the Sturge. Destroyer is the D. Frigate's the Wasp. Corvette's the Damselfly. We've seen frigates. We've seen gunboats, since we don't have torpedo boats yet. Gunboats. We haven't seen fighters. Well, we've seen the larger fighters, but not the small ones. We have not seen a destroyer or a sloop of war. We have seen dreadnoughts, and we have not seen battle cruisers.
Yeah, well, they've got a pretty eclectic group of ships, so I'm sure that there are things you are now seeing. Basically, other than the small fighters and the carriers, and not the Dragonfly design for the Man of War, I think you pretty much see the rest of it.
Okay, so we're seeing destroyers and sloops for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe battle cruisers, and maybe a battle cruiser.
Yep.
Single battle cruiser.
Yep.
Well, that thing's ugly, says Ruvel.
Oh, yeah. That's a big boy.
I sure don't like the looks of that, she says.
I wonder where that one was when we were at the wormhole.
Yeah.
probably slowly catching up.
Can we get a crystal portrait or something of that thing?
Sorry?
I was just thinking, can we get some sort of closer look somehow? Maybe scry? Crystal portrait?
Unfortunately, a scry could be discovered, and a crystal portrait would there not be a flash to get the image, also creating an alert.
Might be best to try it anyway, says Celine.
Yeah.
We should be able to outrun them if we keep enough distance here.
No problem, says Mariana.
Well, I have an idea, says Crowley.
Okay.
Say, a small team, take their bug suits, put on some black cloaks that'll cover head to toe, so that when flying through space, you're not all shiny and chrome. You're blacked out. Unless you're passing by a distant star, no one would notice you going. We could get in, get a couple of pictures from angles where the flash won't be noticed,
No flash.
and get out. Do those crystals not emit a light when they
Nope.
capture an image?
Nope.
Oh.
Just prints it on the crystal, basically.
Yeah.
In the crystal.
Within it, okay. Well, still not a bad idea to get some close-ups.
Yep.
The only problem with that is that then we can't outrun them, she says.
Yeah, we won't ever outrun him if we're that we can wait that long.
Yeah.
To get some distance shots. Says
See, but this isn't meant to be an attack.
Doesn't
It's meant
matter, they don't know
to
that.
be- Well, as long as they don't see us.
We
Taking-
still have to get the bug suits back to the ship in time for Mariama to be able to get us out of here, Crowley.
Not gonna happen. We're not good enough.
We're not that fast.
yeah, I don't think we can get close to that thing, not while it's
If you think it's worth our lives to make the attempt, and maybe it is, I'm willing to make a go of it, she says, but I'm not sure.
Did Xerxes come with us?
yes.
Why don't we just cast ship invisibility and do a high-speed pass with the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes the most sense to me, I think.
Yeah. Do a high speed pass and you guys take
Same.
some pictures.
They might have, because of our maneuvers last time, they might have the invisibility up.
They might.
But as long as we stay out of gun range. I mean, gun range is pretty close, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's unlikely, actually, that they'll have invisibility up, because we would have to do it all the time, on all angles, and space is big.
Yep. Yeah, and they don't have that many casters. Especially if the goblins aren't helping.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, duly
I'm-
noted about what other people are doing. Daz says, but if we're already close enough to count types of ships, don't they already see us? They could, but it's less likely. They're a lot more conspicuous than we are.
Yeah, we're
We're a
we're a
little
smaller
dot.
ship.
Or a little dot in a big space.
Yeah.
Hi, Salties.
Hey, Salties.
Crowley is right. We should try to get closer. I don't think this is a bad idea. I think that is worth the risk.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm liking the invisible high-speed flyby, says Von Ben.
Yep, I concur. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Make it so,
Okay.
she says.
Okay.
Right. We went ahead port bearing 1.72 mark. Yaw 26 and roll 7.
Not
So we're
bad.
com-
Does the ship have any smaller boats we could use as scouts? Nothing that moves as fast as this one does.
No.
Yeah. I'll be right back in just a second, guys. I really must grab something to eat. Should I put up the break timer, or are you guys good to hold things while I'm...
And I'll put up the break timer.
Okay, we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so.
Oh, right. Those will be done by now. Ha. The 10 Armigers Panoli.
Or just Panoplies?
Yeah, that means I have more money. Yay.
You guys want me to leave your mics active or not?
Doesn't matter.
Now that we're on a break, I can make +3.
And we're back. Sorry for the delay.
I'm having some real trouble, babe.
Are you?
Yeah, my back is really fucking hurting. I think I need to lay down. You guys carry on without me.
Can you game and lay down?
I don't think so. I'm sorry. I'm just really sore. And I've been trying to get out of it, but the more I get out of it, the more tired I get because the more stoned I am.
All right.
Okay, good night, guys.
Get done. This is frustrating because I don't have access to the actual book and I can't find anything that tells me. And it's like there's a lot about uses and all that on here on such, but no actual.
Hold on, G-Man. Let me see if I have a copy for you.
What's that? Sorry? Were you talking to me?
No, I was talking in general about trying to find wireling clasps. Google is not helping because it no actual access to the book without buying it.
Give me a few.
Mm-hmm.
Druid stretch.
Or ranger?
Oh, rangers get shapeshift at later levels?
I'm pretty sure it was on the list. It comes from,
Masters of the Wild.
yeah.
Which is the 3rd edition book.
Yes. Anyway. Lots of boats.
One level 1 spell, and I can do it. Let me check. Details of Shocking Grasp.
Are you guys going to do your flyby, or what are you doing?
Well, we're playing the flyby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was the plan. We were going to cast Ship's Invisibility, do a high-speed pass, and take crystal portraits.
Yep. Okay, so Mariama is not, the person who plays Mariama is not here in order to make that check, so I will make a guesstimate, and everybody else can make me a profession starfarer or sailor check.
Okay.
Avalana.
I believe I just have like a +1 or +3.
Magpie's getting out of the dress. Yep. What about the disguise we gave the ship? A pleasure cruise is not about to buzz what is obviously a military fleet.
I'm using invisible ship spell. Mm.
29 from
Just a
Arian.
+1.
Nice.
16 for me.
Okay.
19. No, 18 for me.
Carly got a 4.
Hopefully get tied to the ship. Like you should be.
Does he choose
Golly.
to reroll?
Yeah.
Does anybody choose to let him reroll?
Sure.
Okay. Yep, just a reminder if you're just joining us, we do have the option to re-roll with the use of channel points. Anything twice. Different people have to do it, though.
5.
It could be for good or ill. Thank you, Daz.
Oh, Daz has it. Okay, I will. Or did Daz hit the reroll, or did Daz
Yep.
drop in their roll?
Daz hit the re-roll.
Okay.
Okay, 30 for Von Ben.
Is there difficulty hearing me, guys?
No, I was hitting my reroll as well. So that's why I was wondering. Because I just hit it. Because Daz needs to roll a check as well. So I have one loaded. That's all it was. I couldn't see what it was. All I heard was "Thank you, Daz."
Okay, but I answered your question and you didn't respond to my answer. And I've had a lot of this going on tonight. People are not responding to me. Is there something wrong with my microphone or are people distracted? Right? That's what I need to know.
I'm not distracted. I'm paying attention. I'm sorry.
Nothing wrong with your mic tonight.
Okay.
No.
All right. Sorry. Now, Rowan, what was that?
Yes, Stretch. We need rolls from chat crew as well.
Total of 30 for Von Ben.
Awesome.
Oh, profession checks are wisdom based, so it makes sense.
So I re-rolled and got 17.
Okay. Awesome. As Taz just said, actually, their Stretch, it's a wisdom check. It's yeah, it's a profession.
Daz, don't you have Profession Marine? Wouldn't that work as well?
Yeah, it would. Marines are expected to know all the elements of seafaring or spacefaring, as the case may be.
Still -1. Okay.
Armor.
Then Daz, reroll.
I don't know, that's a pretty good average, but that's up to you. You had one loaded.
Right.
23 from Stretch, 17 from Magpie. Basically, I want to know if anybody gets below 10.
Oh! Somebody
I told
help
you that
Daz.
might be a bad idea.
Somebody help Daz. I can't. I am not losing my operative. Nice Stretch. Oh, there's 2 of them in there, so.
All right. So stretches will be spent on this, and Magpie will have theirs loaded for the next event.
Yep.
Since that's the order in which it came in, go ahead and re-roll. Daz, everybody else gave me their score, right? And nobody got less than 10, so that's why it's not floating in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
We did get a couple of people with some really excellent scores.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. Right.
All right, you're fucked. That's what you're getting at this point.
Hopefully
Yeah. What's that?
Hopefully he's tied to the ship.
Hopefully. All right, actually, now Daz can make a second check. With my 23, can I help Daz? Yes.
I was saying with my 28, can I help? But yeah. So.
No. Madrillian cannot. He is an officer on the ship and has other duties, but Stretch is the bosun.
That's true.
And he's right there. Magpie says, still consider what I would sell to the void to raise Daz from the dead. Yes, the same check, and it will be modified somewhat by Stretch's score. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, so you did not go careening off into space. Lucky you. Which would require a second check to see if you remember to tie your line. Fortunately, you did. Yeah, you guys make the... I mean, like, it's some tight maneuvers. Basically, I was seeing if you guys screwed up. If I were in the mood... I'm not, right? I'm kind of in the mood to get you into the main fight. I think we've been dancing around this long enough, right? So if I were in a less pushy mood, I would make you make 2 more checks. But I am in a pushy mood, so we're going to just barrel through, and you guys manage to make your loop and take a bunch of crystal portraits. Yep, Stretch reminds Daz about the lines as he grabs them. Yep. Perfect. So am I flapping at the end of my rope? Do I look like I'm space skiing? You would have, but the bosun grabbed a hold of the lines and, jerked you back onto the deck. It's because of the tight turns, right? It's a thing that our the spin dizzies and the starfaring engines of a starseed ship provide basically normal gravity. That's how we perceive it, right? But other gravitational fields which are larger will have an effect, right? So
Yeah.
yep, ties her to the damn ship. Thinking fucking green crew, eh?
Especially Daz.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so you guys managed to make your turn and you managed to take the pictures.
Yep.
Hey, I was busy counting enemy ships. Now, if you go careening into space, says Celine, we are not going to get your information. All right, well done, everybody. Let's get back. Let's sort through these images and see if we have anything that's useful.
Yeah. I didn't notice if they're heavily armed, so I wouldn't want to try and take that one on. Let's get out of here.
Yes, that's what they were doing. Yep. Oh, to Daz, yeah. You
Yeah.
trying to get closer to get a better count or something?
Yeah, weapons on the ship. Let's see, they got 27.
Weapons. 90 minutes.
You guys saying something? Sorry? I hear
Oh,
someone.
I must have been mumbling loud enough for my mic to pick it up. Sorry.
Oh, look, that image. Someone is mooning an orc bosun. That's funny. Okay.
Yeah, you know who I can see mooning an orc bosun? They'd be on our ship, of course. Elena Songbird, the morale officer.
Good point. Anyway. Yeah, heading back. I'm going off cam for just a minute because I'm going to put a brighter light on. It's dim in here and it's making it difficult for me to maintain concentration here, so. Okay. Yeah, speaking from experience, says Magpie, I wouldn't recommend taking a dip in the void. Yeah. No doubt. Alright, so you guys head back with your pictures, or?
Yep.
Yep, guess that's the plan.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when I'm game mastering and playing the captain, right? Because I need to give you guys the agency to make the decisions. But yeah. Concentration check, Sable? Yeah. Yeah, you guys go careening back. When you guys get a full count, you're pretty sure there's nearly 300 ships in this fleet.
Oh boy, that's a lot. Okay.
That is a
And
huge fleet. Yes, it's kind of ridiculous, actually.
And how many do we figure we have mustered at Evergleam?
Not that many.
a third of that, maybe, or maybe a fifth.
No, not a fifth.
Well, the question is the Draconia fleet coming through behind them? That's the one thing we don't know.
That's right. We have no idea.
Yeah.
They might be. We're pretty sure they are. But how far back so they wouldn't have been noticed, right?
That's a good question.
And will they get there in time to deal with whatever this fleet does? Yeah.
Well, if we don't have the numbers to face them in space, we should at least have the ground troops. They can't be bringing that many people.
The only problem is getting them to fight on the ground.
Well, if they blockade the planet, then we'll know when the Draconia fleet gets here and we can sortie to pincer them.
I wonder if there's any way we can get that information.
Well, we could try the message safe thing, I guess. High Command could.
Sure. Oh. Yeah, she says. My brain just did a worst case scenario. But she says,
What's up?
I mean, what are the
Captain?
likely? Well, I mean, if the Admiral has been captured, then that would mean we would give what we knew to the enemy.
We could just ask for an ETA and not give them any definitive plans.
That's true. We could indeed do that.
Yeah, we do. And the thing is, if we have our ships hiding on the our naval ships hiding on the other side of the planet, we don't know where they're going to come in. Well, we know where they're going to come in, but we need to get them down. And the best way to do that is make it look like it's wide open.
Get what down?
The enemy.
Yeah. Okay, heavy black line and a long crinkled rip from the rope incident. Okay. She looks at her with a questioning eyebrow. Points at the rip. This is Daz, of course. Stretch asks what would make them have to fight on the ground. That's a good question. What would, guys?
Threat of their admiral and sub-admiral being executed.
Do you think?
Nah, I don't think that'd draw them down.
Yeah.
Well, how many high arcanists are at the towers of the sun and moon and stars and things?
Good question. What's your
Because
thought?
if we have enough higher Arcanus, we might be able to put a temporary, I don't know what they're called in this universe, but the Sargasso, something along those lines. We could put an effect around the planet, force them to have to come down, not be able to get close enough to bombard.
You're right, creating some kind of obstacle in space that either prevents them from traveling or prevents them from fighting.
It's worth a shot, says Vonbin. Basically, we need some space quackgrass.
Pretty much. I've heard of this vine, she says.
No.
See any smart spacefarer? Pooh mines. No, that's not going to do it. Nor do we have enough time to set up the size of a minefield we're going to need. Blake, I did not mean to shut you down for the night. Just that particular thing wasn't going to work. Not to mention that I said at the beginning of this game that I don't want to repeat fights we've already had. Right? So I didn't want it to be another bug suit taking out targets of opportunity.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Artificial nebula. That has potential. The nearest nebula is called the Rainbow Nebula, and it is visible from here, but it's actually not within the star system, which is good because nebulas are what they actually are in our world, which is to say clouds of luminous gas and stars that are millions of, well, you know, a few hundred light years across, right, at least. So we don't want that.
Yeah, aren't they the start of new galaxies?
Not necessarily. They tend to be nursing grounds for stars. A lot of the gas coalesces and forms new stars. But the gas is in and of itself stuff like hydrogen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's messy. But an artificial nebula, something that cloaks numbers and reduces visibility, would at least slow them down. Some kind of barrier that prevents them from enacting their spin dizzies would work.
Right, which is why I suggested the equivalent of whatever Sargasso. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, a dead space area, basically. Yeah.
Wait, overrun their communications like before, except use creepy noises and pretend it's a void coming for them.
Big illusion of a nebula, so there's too much to cover. Again, we're talking about like super high-powered spellcasters, which could be an option. Remember that you guys do have Selnar on speed dial.
They are these guys. We also realize this is a planetary defense, so we have the like high spellcasters of these big of those magic towers that could cast a super big ritual spell.
Yep, that was exactly what Arian was suggesting, as a matter of fact. Alright, you know what? Perhaps this is above our pay grade. Let's let them know what's coming and suggest that some kind of some effect around the planet that either limits visibility or prevents them from traveling would be our recommendation.
Like a plan.
Okay, and that is what she
get back to port.
Yep, as fast as we can.
Yep.
We definitely want the Mithril to be able to analyze our pictures.
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys do brood back. You do get back ahead of the big fleet, of course. A big fleet like that takes longer to move. Basically, it can only go as fast as its slowest members. At least you're going to stay in formation and keep the ships together.
Yep.
So you've probably still got a few days.
It's not enough time still, but...
No.
The missile moves slowly. I'm sorry.
Now I wonder.
Once again, we do have the great red tape scissors.
That's true.
Yep. Yeah, we do.
All it takes is somebody saying, "Oh shit, Dad."
No, they outnumber us. That we'd be hitting crossfire there. Stretch.
Yeah, not individually. Like, as a fleet, they can only move as fast as their slowest members. But there are liable to be people as fast as us, if not faster.
Yeah. And the moment we do one hit, we become visible, and they can just crossfire us from every angle.
Daz says we need to trick them into breaking the cohesion of their fleet. You're right. I welcome suggestions.
Unfortunately, given the fact that our highest ranking person is a captain and the rest of us are lieutenants and ensigns, I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things where the Mithril will decide, and we will do what we can on our part where we can find something to do. But other than that, the whole battle thing is beyond the scope of our command at this point.
Yeah. Well, we know Evergleam's going to be their big target, right?
Yep.
So that's what we should perhaps be doing, is bolstering Evergleam's defenses.
We could offer our services to the king to stand with his guard.
That's true.
Yep. That's not a bad idea, actually.
Like I said, whatever happens with the fleet, it's going to be out of our hands.
Yep.
Well, they probably are, Daz, but we're not going to try to take it with scout ships either, because they'll be close enough to the fleet to retaliate, but far enough away to get numbers. They learned after the last few attempts. Especially since their scout ships they already had here disappeared.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I'd recommend that we turn command of the Voidchaser over to what's his name? The druid guy.
Alessander.
Alessander.
Mm-hmm.
And have the crew take her to the far side of the system, out of the line of fire, and that we as officers offer our services to the king to bolster his guard and let the Mithril figure out how to get him on the ground. They're going to have to come down if they want to take out high command. So
that's true. You're right. I think that's probably our best bet, unless anyone else has any thoughts.
I'm in agreement with Lieutenant Arian.
Right then, she says. Avalana, says Alessander. As soon as we return to Chalasia, I will take the con.
in fact, we don't even have to have the Voidchaser land. We can load up our pictures and just drop down in the bug suits.
Yeah. Good plan. All right, those of you with bug suits, suit up.
Avalana.
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 And I would recommend that our
Avalana.
I would recommend that our more important crew members stay with Alessander so he has some support.
Also a good idea.
Daz?
Are you talking about the chat crew?
Yeah, basically, if out of character. If what's coming's coming, I think they're probably going to be in a position to get mowed down in the kind of fight we're going to find ourselves in. And so this is a way to kind of tuck them away safely.
Yeah, this is gonna be ugly.
Lieutenant Alexander, if you wouldn't mind taking Daz as your aide for this.
Good idea, he says. You alright with that, Dazzlecat? He says. He laughs at your sketch. A crude sketch of the enemy fleet, says Daz, and a butt mooning the whole fleet. Yep. So we send Rando La Elf.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, so the chat crew crews up the ship. The rest of you plan to go down and guard the king. Obviously, Evolith does not like this idea. This leaves him on the ship, away from the people he's here to look out for. But I'm not sure he can figure out a way to get out of that.
I'll take the bosun aside and explain to him that that's been my job too. So I'll handle it for this part.
Yeah, you're not alone in that there, Arian, says Midrimlian, walking up beside you. You think I'm gonna let anything happen to my best friend?
Orders are orders, he says. Yup.
Yeah, just make sure we get this ship back in one piece, would you? I trust Alexander as well, but it's your job. You gotta watch out for the crew and everything else, so.
Yeah, the problem is that Evolith has two contrary sets of orders at the moment.
The other thing is that this way I will explain to Alexander and Evolith that if worse comes to worse and the fleet is wiped out and Evergleam is overrun, we do have the ability to escape and survive in deep space in our bug suits, and that gives us an escape ship to get these high-ranking, important people out that won't be destroyed in the fleet action.
A good point, he says. He says, I still don't know how I feel about putting all of our eggs in one basket like this, but he says it's above my pay grade, and so far it's been working, he says. Yeah, okay, so Evolith is willing to live with that. Fair enough. Daz is now making plans to make vodka and the ginger ale.
Well, we have the potatoes in the water barrels, remember?
Yeah, I'm
And they've
sure
been in
Daz
this.
does.
I'm reminding everybody else.
And I will be off the ship, so the mini still kit will be under my bed with no one to protect it from Daz.
That's true. Alright, so you guys make these plans. Just one moment here. Okay.
I will look over it. I will look over it Majorly and say, unfortunately, for this to work, we need to leave your girlfriend behind too.
I know. I know. Her skill on the helm is our only asset at the moment for that. I'm not arguing it.
Yeah. Stretch goes back to cabin, changes out of smart clothes into something a bit more normal. Dad says it's only being borrowed and planned to be returned with you never noticing. I mean, what? Yeah, alright. So, you guys make these preparations. You guys get back within orbit of Talasia. You sent messages on to the people that you're supposed to have sent them on to. The response you get back from Admiral Celestis is 3 days. Your estimate is that this fleet will reach us in 2.
We have to hold for a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a much tighter margin than I like, says Celine. Yeah, Stretch checks over gear and gets ready for whatever is to come. Goes also to visit certain friends on ship to check in on them. Daz gets busy with the potato vodka. I got nothing better to do. That's hilarious.
Uh-huh. God, looking at the stuff that I can add to armor, I really want to be able to add spell storing, but I can't. Add spell storing to my bug suit. Basically, whenever somebody hits me, I can immediately cast that spell, the spell stored in it as a reaction, or as an immediate action. But I need to be cast a level of 12th level.
Right.
And that's what, 9,
3.
3 levels away.
Anyway, so we send the Voidchaser off to the other side of the system. We drop off the side,
Yep.
drop down onto the palace, and go see the king, I guess.
Yep.
I'll add expeditious retreat to my suit. Yeah. So on the planet side, I don't need to be wearing a bug suit. Yes.
Not until the fight breaks out, anyway.
Yep.
Even during the fight, unless I would need to be flying around, which I don't necessarily think is likely, I don't need it. I'm a class who specializes in not wearing armor.
Fair enough.
And I have a spell that adds even more armor when I'm not wearing armor.
Looks like we're being told to hydrate, guys. It's not a hail hydrate, it's a tiki mug, but not sure what the anchor means. Solid idea, that's what it is. In that particular context, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it may be a good idea to hide the bug suits as much as we can anyway, if we're counting on them to be our last-ditch escape module.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Well, that's okay. We just put them back in the house, which is always within 100 feet of us, or 100 meters of us.
Yep. And then they can be summoned at will. You guys made sure. Yep. The king, making a long story short, is quite concerned at the size of this fleet that you're describing. But, it's not certain that he, wants or needs your protection. Of course. His son being in your group. Celine's kind of like, oh no. Yeah, she says, Sir, With all due respect, as far as I know, you still answer to the Avalonian throne. Unless my father overrules me, I'm going to insist, she says. He sighs. I do answer to the Avalonian throne, Your Highness, he says. Isn't this a bit putting all of our eggs in one basket, though?
We've made plans for a swift bug out, shall we say.
Ah. Yeah, just for her to make a batch of banana vodka. That's hilarious. Yeah, Magpie wants to know if we have cocktail fixings now. Probably not. You guys would have already had to smuggle this extra liquor onto the ship anyway. There's supposed to be rules about how much liquor you can have. Not that any sailor in the history of ever has paid attention to that, mind you.
Oh, what?
Sailors are notoriously good at smuggling bullshit liquor onto their ships.
Implements with green food dye and scope bottles? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, of course you don't.
No, the green is Listerine, the blue is scope.
Nobody pays attention to mouthwash.
It's mostly alcohol anyway.
Shit. More waiting ensues.
Yep.
Yep, basically spend the 2 days, keeping up on training and rest and, making sure we're in top form.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep people busy so they don't overthink, obviously.
It's coming. It's just, we know when it's going to get here. It's just the grind.
Okay, the armature stuff. It says 500 meters in the within 500 meters or feet, not meters, in order to function. It doesn't say it doesn't cross dimensional borders, but it also says it does. It doesn't say it does either. So I'll leave that up to the GM.
We'd already put it in the game that it did.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did.
I'm actually debating whether or not to switch the ones that I'm wearing off for braces of armor instead, since I'm not wearing a bug suit by default in this scenario.
Well, as I recall, I asked you to make me some bracers, so Celine actually dons those along with her Marine uniform.
Okay. That works. It means I'll do the same. I can upgrade those to +3 now as well. That just takes some time. I gotta look at the costs for that.
Which we currently don't have. So.
Yep.
I know. I've been adding a bunch of stuff. I've been adding. I've been building up my list of magic items again.
All right. So then.
Two times actually. I can do +4.
Your first indication of the trouble hitting the planet is that a massive cloud bank rolls in atmosphere.
Oh boy.
Yep.
And then a massive fog starts rolling up from the ground.
Here we go.
Here we go.
All right.
Right.
Oh.
It's going to hamper our visibility as much as theirs. So,
Hey, Captain,
Yeah.
if we need to bug out of here in a hurry, and we want to keep the king as safe as possible, would it not be to our advantage to maybe have the king go into my hutch?
It would be, she says. But I doubt he will listen.
no.
It's warm and comfortable, and the key is easily concealed.
Crowley, here's the problem. He is a leader.
Morale.
He must be seen to lead for the morale of the army.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Did you not pick that up when we first met him?
Okay. Crowley touches his hat and makes himself look like the king.
Uh-huh.
That's a good idea, says Celine.
Game changer.
Exactly.
Let's see if we can talk him into it. And if not, let's see if we can cloud him over the head and make him go anyway, she says.
Well, I could, but I don't want to hurt him.
Captain, I have sleeping powder. If he doesn't want to go willingly, he can take a nap and we'll make it happen.
Great.
That's right.
And Madrillian actually can even make this much more possible with his mind link.
Yep.
And I will point out, however, that the king is probably much stronger and more powerful than us.
Yes, obviously. But
Fairy sleeping powder affects everybody the same way.
I believe it's a Constitution save, isn't it?
it
If
is.
he makes the save, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. But it's not like we're going to try and let it get to that. We're going to try and reason with the man. He's not king because he's stupid.
I don't know. I've
true.
met a lot. Anyway, Celine.
But he's also not a king because he's going to be willing to stand in the back with his thumb up his butt. Trust me.
Bullheaded and stubborn come to mind. I might be dating his son.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Xerxes is anything like his father,
And from what I hear, he's exactly like his father, says Celine.
good luck keeping him out of the battle.
Well, Captain, just give me your word.
I will say if we pursue this, we're much more likely to wind up with 3 imperial princesses bonked over the head and stuffed in a hutch.
That's true.
Probably. It might be worth a try, she says.
All right. Let's try, says Fonvin. Who's going to take the argument of lead?
I nominate Xerxes.
Oh no, says Xerxes.
Crowley says, I'll do it.
I was going to suggest it was one of our more persuasive manners, and Xerxes is not it, says Fonvin. However, Crowley seems to be pretty good at getting people to do what he would like.
That is true.
Well, let's try to talk him into it. We'll start there. Of course, he's not hearing it. Like, he's immediately hostile to the idea.
Well, yes. And I understand, sir, that, this is not ideal. But what would be less ideal is them somehow getting the upper hand on this palace, and getting hold of you, either whether it be for them to execute you or to hold you as political hostage. Neither would be any good at
He
all.
raises an eyebrow and says, and the princesses are less of a risk in that department.
Well, sir, they have me.
Yeah, he kind of chuckles.
But on a more serious note, um, they it isn't widely known that, they're here. It's very widely known that you're here.
I suppose that's true. He
You
says,
know, maybe that's why they're sending such a large fleet right here, right now.
they're sending it here because this is the major spaceport on this planet, he says. They know that. Whether I
Okay.
was here or not would not be relevant. He says not to that.
Do you have a trusted advisor or general that knows your men as well as you do, that would be able to take your place? I I would be willing to loan him my hat. He could make himself look like you, sound like you, give orders like you, but not physically be you. So if something did go wrong, and he was slain unfortunately, it wouldn't be you.
He says, elves expect that I too shall do my duty, Crowley. I do
Yes,
appreciate what
but
you're trying to do, he says.
your knowledge and power and influence may be needed in the future. And if they think they've either captured or killed you, and that is not the case, that could set some of their plans way off. Just a thought.
Make a. Oh, I think this is probably diplomacy, isn't it? Make a diplomacy check.
24.
Nice. He says no one else would be able to know if this had occurred. Are you sure about this, Crowley? I feel like I'm abandoning my troops.
You wouldn't be abandoning them at all. As a matter of fact, you're leaving them in the charge of someone you've already left them in the charge of. And if it so happens that they fall, you are still there to lead them.
As a matter of fact, says Bonvin Sire, one of our friends here is psionic and they could mind link you to the person, so it will be your words.
You really think that we don't have any chance, he says.
It's bad. It's. We counted 300 and some were an unusual type.
It's not simply a war fleet, sir. It's an invasion fleet.
All right, Crowley, he says. I will take your suggestions. You all agree with him, I understand? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, he says. He calls in his general and explains the plan to him. The general looks relieved and says, I would be happy to serve in this capacity, sir. All right, then. He nods to Crowley.
Crowley hands over his hat.
Yep. The general puts it on and assumes the form of the king. Good luck, your majesty. You too, he says to him, claps him on the shoulder. He says, I'm going to make my way to Glimmerfell, I think, he says. It's more easily defended. If you're right and this is an invasion fleet, he says, then if repelling it is not successful, you're right, I will be needed later. I still feel wrong about this, Crowley, but
Don't feel wrong about wanting to lead and protect your people.
I think it's an excellent idea, sir, says Celine.
Ma'am, I would be remiss in my duty if I did not point out that you, Lieutenant Yasma, and Ensign Starsong should accompany the king to Glimmerfell if it is that much safer.
Yeah, she says, I know.
Fonvin nods. We should, she says to Celine.
Hoisted on my own petard, she says.
Or at the very least, we should, no, we should just all go. I think it'll be better, even though we're all in the same place. Together, we're stronger.
All right, Arian. Good luck, she says to him.
Crowley,
Let's go, she says.
Crowley,
Yes?
would you be willing to loan the ladies your key?
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you, Chris.
Would you be willing to loan the ladies your key so they can, should Glimmerfell be threatened and they need to bug out to the Voidchaser, that way they can take however many people they can cram in the hutch?
Yes, which would be about, well, at maximum capacity would be about 50 people, but they would be extremely tight, sit on the ground quarters only. But at max, you could probably fit that many in an emergency situation for a few hours.
Duly noted.
Half that could comfortably lay down and sleep.
Gotcha.
But of course, Yasma can have this key. Oh, yeah. Well, no, I mean, when you guys get out at Glimmerfell, you're taking the key with you.
Oh.
Yes. So yeah, of course.
Thanks, Crowley. She kisses
Personally,
him
I
on the
think
Keep
head
your
and
bug
switches his
suits in
ears.
your pack, in your bags, guys, and keep them close to hand.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose you either.
Take Madrimlian with you so that he can maintain contact with us.
absolutely. And I think that we should stick close to the king.
Unfortunately, I have to be close to cause the link, and it's not as strong as it used to be. Since I've been developing, it's no longer the scope it used to be. It has settled.
Is it easier if you maintain contact with someone you know really well? I'm volunteering
No,
myself, she says.
unfortunately, it'll only last for under an hour.
Right, she says.
That's the problem.
In that
And
case,
I have
she
to be
says,
close to cause it, to create it.
if you see this, she says, and shows you her arcane mark, you know we're in trouble.
Alana.
How far apart are Winterfell and Evergleam?
Several hundred miles.
Yeah, I have to be within 35 feet of them to create
Well,
it.
Here's my question. Does the king have a set of ring gates?
It's not a bad idea. I don't know that he would on hand, but he could probably get one easily enough.
If we had a pair of ring gates, the distance between us would be basically nothing.
That's true.
I don't remember what the range on the ring gate is so anymore.
The non-epic ones are 1 mile and are 1 foot in diameter.
Yikes.
Let me grab my core rulebook and look at them real quick.
Yeah, you bet. Good
I
idea.
mean, we might have
I will
changed
wait. I will wait
for
for you to do
Pathfinder.
that because it could have a very big effect. So, yes, it's important that we know.
But that was the 3.5 stuff on it.
Well, regardless of how this goes, my friends, we've done everything we can, she says. We have not shirked our duty in any way. Let's hope it's enough, she says.
Yeah, I don't see how we could have done anything more.
No. Not a thing, she says. Not a thing.
Could we possibly break at 8?
You want to break at 8 o'clock? We could break now if you wanted.
Okay, that'd be cool. What, 15? Or 10?
Yeah, 10, 15, sure. Whichever,
Okay.
just let me know when you're back. It's a good idea
Okay.
anyway. That'll give Chris a chance to look up what he's looking up.
Already
Okay.
done. Ring gates only have a range of 100 miles.
Only 100 miles, okay. It'll work for a while, right? If trouble strikes us in the first 100 miles, it'll work. Still worth doing, I think.
Right.
Can't hurt to take extra precautions.
Kind of hard to believe that the king does
Sable.
not have a teleportation circle too.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Everything.
does. Yes, Crowley? Or yes, Blake, rather?
How fast can our bug suits travel over land?
Basically at Mach.
Fucking fast.
So, a couple of 100 miles an hour.
Yep.
Probably close to 1,000 miles an hour.
770 kilometers an hour would be
Yeah.
Mach 1.
Yep.
So, truthfully, the flight from here to there in a bug suit would be about 15 minutes.
No, 200 and some kilometers in an hour, and I said several hundred kilometers, so a couple of hours probably.
Okay, but well, several hundred kilometers. Okay, even in a straight line. Okay, let's say 300 kilometers. If you can travel 700 kilometers an hour, that would be a 1 hour trip.
That's true, but we're not, because it's Mach.
Mach's like 680 miles an hour or something like that.
Oh, is it?
It's
Oh, okay. Well, then,
ridiculous.
you
Yeah.
could. Okay, yeah, you could get there in an hour. All right, then. Sure.
Okay, now if me and Arian loaded you guys up and flew there, we could have you guys there within an hour.
Or Celine could fly herself, which would be much
Well, I
more
guess-
mobile and
Yep.
able to respond to any changing situation.
Fair enough.
I have a question about that too. I mean, we can't just fly straight to Glimmerfell from
Glimmerfell. No, you have
because
to
of the
go
defenses, right?
through. Yep. And the defenses do probably take a minimum of an hour or two to navigate.
Yeah.
I'm sure the king has a high-ranking mage who can just teleport you all directly there. It's probably his preferred method of travel.
Getting back, on the other hand, would be more difficult. Yes.
Correct.
Quite probably he does. Do we still need a break?
I think Blake is off breaking. And I gotta at least grab another bottle of water and visit the little girl's room.
Okay, we'll take a break then for the moment. You guys can think about it some more, and that's totally cool. We'll see you guys in a minute. We're back finally. Sorry for that extended delay, guys. Alright, so the king does get into the hutch as requested. And they begin heading out towards Glimmerfell.
Yep.
Assuming that Yasma agrees to this as well. Yasma has not said.
I agree.
Okay. So the three of you and the king fuck off.
Okay.
In the meantime,
Yep.
it's not long after, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, before shit starts coming out of the clouds. Incoming! Yells someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Who is the highest ranked officer here?
among those of you who are left?
Yeah, oh, that'd be me or Arian. But I'm talking about because there's also land units here too. Like the general would be giving orders. Well,
Yeah,
the king.
the king is giving orders. The general, the king, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The General King.
The general king. Right now, what they're doing is manning the siege towers and throwing shit back at the sky to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
You also see a couple of dragons take to the air.
You know what Drew is thinking right now? Prepare to rebel borders!
Yep, Madrimlian's a marine. Does he bellow that? Prepare to rebel borders!
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody that isn't a marine just gives him a look like, what the fuck?
Well, technically he's not wrong. They're just planetary borders.
Exactly.
Yup. Yeah, all hell fucking breaks loose, basically. Shit falls from the sky. It's not incredibly accurate. That is one thing, right? Because there is a lot of fog in the air. This is what our arcanists were able to cook up on short notice. So instead of everything landing on the fucking landing ground and the castle, some of it lands on the landing ground and the castle, a bunch of it lands in the city, some of it lands in the countryside outside.
Oh god, those people in the city.
Yeah.
I'm sure there would have been evacuation notices as soon as and stuff.
Maybe.
Except for like nobles who are too stubborn.
But where would they go?
The countryside.
Glimmerfell.
Well, shit gets trashed anyway. There's, the noise is incredible. It's like, you know, I mean, they're not meteors. Good thing, because, planet killing we don't need. But, basically, if if a meteor broke up and littered an area, that's basically what happens. There's dust everywhere. The noise is enormous. There are tremors in the ground.
Dudes are flinging lightning bolts out of the clouds.
Lightning bolts, fireballs, meteor swarm spells.
Jim was going, hold the line, people! Hold the line!
Dropping plain boulders off your deck in the atmosphere.
Yep.
Yup. Ugly.
Not very accurate, but serious damage.
And especially not accurate because their visibility is shit, right? Yeah,
Right.
but sorry.
Right. Arian's keeping an eye out for the landing craft that are probably coming right behind the barrage.
Yep, that's what's happening.
That's what Madrillian is looking for too. That's why he yelled, hold the line, because as soon as they hit, it's going to be, don't let them through.
It's almost as difficult for you to see them as it is for them to see you, but you do catch, you guys know what to look for. Maybe the land troops don't, but you catch the swirls of fog that indicate to you that they're being disturbed by a fast-moving object.
Mm-hmm.
Incoming at 3 o'clock.
Incoming at 6 o'clock. Great. This is going to be a battle like
Incoming from all points.
Yep.
Yep, pretty much. Shit is flying in from everywhere. What do you do?
Well, we're with the king. Where's he at?
Yep.
Currently what he's doing is, let's see. He says, there's no good place for them to land en masse except for the landing field. He says, form up around the landing field.
Avalon.
Yep.
That is so funny. Incoming at 3.5. Don't turn that FM dial. Yeah, so soldiers begin to form up around the landing area. Which, makes sense to me. A bunch of people do start to land.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Madrillian's got his rapier out. That's about all he's got right now.
Yeah. I guess I'll cast my other protections, my shield spell now. So that's another +4 AC.
Just a question, Sable, but
Yes.
wouldn't everybody have picked up one of those weapons out of the crates?
Did they?
Possibly, don't know how to use it, but
Yep.
I can
don't
try.
have exotic. I don't have exotic weapon proficiency air gun, so.
Neither do I.
No,
Yeah, like
I mean, if you want one, you certainly have had opportunity to pick one up, and you can use it, but you will be operating at the -4 penalty for a non-proficient weapon.
Oh well.
You're
If
welcome
it gives
to do
us a
it.
chance. Yeah, Madrillian will do it until it start getting close.
Yeah.
Don't like I
Sorry,
can really
I just
aim
thought
much
the
anyway.
whole purpose of getting them was for this fight. So I figured we would have practiced with them or something, but okay.
it's not. You gotta pick up a weapon proficiency using a feat basically to use them properly. I figure.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, any firearm, it's like that in D&D, and the thing about it is that, getting them in the hands of your R&D guys so that they can be widely equipped and people can widely train with them is a good overall goal. If you guys wanted some, though, you're absolutely entitled to have them, right? So if you have one, great.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's even impossible to operate at the -4 proficiency thing. It's just a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might be worth it depending on the damage.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It would use your dex bonus to shoot it, because it's a ranged weapon,
Uh-huh.
not a bow. Bows are weird that way. It
Yes.
requires like a
And-
weird combination of dex and strength.
And anyone that's fired a wand or a staff has aimed a staff at something and had it do damage. So
Yeah, I mean, you understand in theory how to use it. You just, a couple of days isn't long enough, or even a couple of weeks isn't long enough to really
No.
teach yourself to be proficient with it. That's all. I mean, yes, you can absolutely use it. You can aim it at the enemy, and you know which end is the dangerous end. You know that much you do know.
Yep.
How
Well,
to
I mean,
load it.
yeah.
It's like learning to use a regular firearm. You don't become super good with it over a couple days' time.
To be
No.
honest, Celine picked one up. You never know, right?
Yep. Except Adrenaline has one and extra ammo for it.
Yep. Yep,
I mean,
so siege weapons start to fire into the landing area. A bunch of these landing ships are being taken out, but again, visibility is garbage. So some things like barely miss, some things, go wild.
Uh-huh. Arden's casting a bunch of spells, to start preparing his defenses.
Yep.
I'll be volleying arrows. I did pick up a bunch of extra arrows from my longbow,
Yep.
so I'll just be raining arrows into the area.
There's now 5 copies of Arden, and he's like small.
That's hilarious. Some of the enemy do land on each other, actually, Daz. You're not wrong, because visibility is shit. They clip each other as they land. One craft goes, like, careening towards you because its wing was cut off as it was heading in for a landing, and kind of bounces over your heads, barely, to land somewhere in the dockyard.
Adrenaline's just saying, evasive maneuvers!
Okay.
Yes, Dragon, you are in the ship somewhere else waiting.
Okay. I cast all my spells. I guess the king. How many of us are here?
There's you, Arian, Crowley, Madrimlian, Ruavel, Xerxes, and I think that's it.
Okay,
That's
so
it from
then
the
there's
party, yep.
also the king. I can target 2 more people with haste when we actually start fighting.
Well,
My
Madrona is taking shots just because they're within range.
Yep. My suggestion to you, Arden, is Ruavel and Xerxes, or Ruavel and Arian.
Yeah.
Well, I can target 9 people with this spell, and it only lasts 9 rounds, though. So that's why I'm waiting until we get engaged in melee combat or something,
Right.
and then I'm gonna cast it right at the start.
They start
Hit
firing
everybody with-
mostly crossbows back at you. People start falling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just start shooting them.
With your air gun?
Yep.
Madrimlian opens up with the air gun. It kind of goes pap, 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 pap in a line, loosely, because he's not holding control of it very well.
Yeah, he goes boop, 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 up with it.
It's like when somebody tries to fire an automatic rifle
God.
and they don't know how. They kind of end up spinning in a circle, you know? It does manage to cut down 5 orcs rather nicely, but almost by accident.
Crit range is 15 now.
Just let me know when the first party gets within charge range. Basically.
Yep, and that happens right about now.
Right.
So initiatives.
Yep, initiative time.
Cool, and... God, I've spent a lot of spells already and I haven't even gotten to combat.
I guess I should be writing this down. Just a second. Get my pen.
I cast my third level spells already. 1, 2, 4 second level spells.
Okay. All right, Aryan initiative.
21.
Okay. Crowley initiative.
15.
Okay. Madrimlian initiative.
24.
Arden initiative.
I hadn't got to that yet because I was going over my spell set. 6 and another 6. You can ask someone else while I do this because there's a lot.
Well, I don't have anyone else to ask, so I'm rolling for the PCs who are being played by Aaron at the moment.
Sable.
Yes. Natural 20.
I have to ask. We only have a half an hour left, and this is kind of a major point for Aaron's characters.
Yeah, it is.
Do we want to hold off on the fight, just end it now, and let him be here for this?
I would like to, but I didn't want to do that when everybody was planning to do this tonight, so it's totally up to you guys.
We're not going to finish in half an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So we might as well
I
save it
hate
for the
stopping mid-combat.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hate stopping in mid-combat? You'd rather save it for next time, call it early?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm cool with that, guys. Like I said, you're right. Chris is right. There are supposed to be significant things that both Ruvel and Xerxes do in this fight. And I know that if Aaron were here, they would be doing them. And I can't guarantee that if I'm playing them. So, and yeah, I also hate interrupting in mid-combat. It loses momentum, and it's not a lot of fun, and, also makes it difficult to plug back in because you're like, what the hell was everybody doing?
Yep.
What turn were we on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you take all the initiatives, we know what the initiatives are to start with, and Aaron can just roll his at the beginning.
Yeah, I've got everybody else's initiative now except Arden's.
I got a 22.
22. Okay.
I rolled a 7 and I still get 22. It's fucking.
Arden, you might want to put somewhere down real quick. Jot down the list of spells that you've already cast.
Yes.
So that,
I do that. I use the notes thing in the character notes thing, quick notes thing for all of my spell stuff.
Okay.
So I have been keeping track. It also helps me. I also plan on coming up with a thing to tell. Since we haven't started combat, I'm gonna list a bunch of spells. Before next time, I'm gonna list all the spells I've cast and how long they last. Most of them aren't gonna last the whole combat, but
right. That also works.
Unless it takes longer than 9 minutes.
If you guys think of other things in the meantime that you wanted your characters to have done before the fight, you've certainly had more than enough opportunity to prep yourselves, right? And if you think of things that are relatively easy to purchase that would be available in the city, you had time to do that too.
I was going to ask, how much time was there since our arrival to the actual...
I think it's been a week.
Okay, I think I had enough time to craft at least one thing. I can also have crafted thing that Mom wanted, the wilding clasp and that.
Right. Don't spend time on wilding clasp in the eve of battle, because I can't quite use it yet, but I will next level.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we might also have had a chance to deal with Nimmelin's issues, right?
Oh.
Remember that we've been here for a week and Selnar has been here. Aaron would probably have mentioned it if he were awake, but he wasn't, obviously.
Yeah.
Clearly he was exhausted.
Okay, I can make my wand of shock and grasp for myself. I gotta check if I can actually do that stuff though.
Yep. You know what? I'll put up the drum while we're doing all this too, to prepare for next time, the beat to quarter symbol.
Okay,
And then that
no,
way I know it's active and I'll remember we're in a fight when we next join.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's...
I did figure that was the case. So I spent some money and I went and bought a Masterwork composite longbow plus 5 strength.
Yep, makes sense to me.
And a bunch of arrows to go with, I meant.
You had time to get the
Yeah,
void
Gary-
to give me back my taste buds. You might have had the time to get the void to give you back your nerves. It all depends on what Selnar does. It's possible.
Yeah. I bought 100 arrows, so
Okay.
Oh yeah, Magpie, you and I still need to have that talk too. I keep forgetting about it. I haven't been up to snuff lately, so.
To be honest, everyone here has been experiencing a bout of exhaustion and illness, right? Like, I just got over a cold. A part of my problem tonight getting going was that I was drag-ass tired.
Mhm.
I wasn't until we sat down to play, but I've been taking a nap at about this time. I feel fine now, but you know, it took me a while to get my shit together. Aaron obviously is feeling it. Jamie stayed home from work today because of it. Siobhan's been sleeping almost constantly, so.
Yeah. Like the other day, I slept for what was it, 14 hours?
I mean,
And I had
it's just a cold, as far as I know. Like, my cold symptoms have all passed now and everything. I had the sniffle for a couple of days, and it wasn't even a bad sniffle. I've had much, much worse, right?
Yep.
So
And yes, Magpie, I would appreciate that. Sorry, Sable.
yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just saying I think that I'm in better shape than I am, and as a result, obviously.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I
Both
haven't gotten the
Sid-
sniffles, but I've just been achy.
okay. Sable,
yes.
out of my 100 arrows, how many did I volley into the landing zone while we were waiting for them to get close?
Could have been a lot, so I don't know. Roll a couple of d20s, add them up. We'll say that's how much.
3d20?
Pardon?
3d20?
Sure.
3750.
Exactly half. That's funny
Exactly
because
half of them, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, Stretch, we're just starting the fight, and it's 20 minutes to 9 o'clock. So, and Aaron passed out, so we are thinking that we're going to hold off, call it early, and then that way we're less likely to have to interrupt the fight next time, which I would, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, Rowan says battle is about to start, but we are going to call early so Aaron can be here. Daz said the party has split. They are secretly taking the king, while a fake king is leading the defense against the enemy, and the others are facing the invasion. Yeah, the imperial princesses have been convinced to leave the field, right? Which, you know, actually does make a lot of sense. Stretch says, calls all the crew to stations, make sure none of them are intoxicated at all. We need to be at the very pinnacle of our game now. Yes, because if they need to escape, you need to be ready.
And the thing is Madrona would have thrown on his helmet, contacted
The ship is not far away. It is hidden, but it is not far away, or it wouldn't be able to work as a potential escape vessel.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is because Alessandro has his bug suit,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably is wearing the helmet for communication purposes, just so he knows when the battle ensues.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Madrona pops his helmet on, and lets him know we are engaging in battle now.
Affirmative, he says.
This way, he knows what's going on.
All right. All hands to stations, he says.
We will be out of contact
Beat to
while
quarters.
battle. We will be letting you know if we need immediate rescue as soon as we rebug suit.
Av, he says.
And then remove the helmet again.
Well, thanks for being cool to Aaron, guys. I appreciate that. I'm sure he really didn't want to miss it. So that's great. And
Well, that's just it. We don't want him to miss it either.
better for me, too, because, I hate interrupting combat in the middle, just like Rowan. It feels like neargasm.
Exactly.
Oh, I do have a question.
Yes.
Do we have an observer who lets us know what happens to the fleet that we had managed to assemble?
What do you mean?
The defensive fleet, do we know its fate?
Sorry, the which fleet? You're sort of cutting in and out, and I'm having trouble.
The defensive fleet that we got together.
Oh, yeah, they're here. Yeah.
No, they're not here for another day. Remember, we have to hold the
The
day.
defensive fleet is here. The fleet from Draconia, which could pincer them, needs one more day.
Right.
So I was just wondering if our Evergleam fleet was wiped, or if it got out of the way, or
It's probably in combat with some of the other ships, and these are the landing craft that got through.
I can't imagine that with an invasion of this size, they wouldn't call upon any spacefaring ship in the area, and that would include the Glimmerfell fleet.
right. So I'm just wondering what happened to them. Do we have a jaw of our jaw of the pincer left, or did it get wiped out before they landed?
That's a good question, and unless you guys made plans to have someone on those ships, you wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was asking if there was an observer, like on a high tower above the clouds or outside the area that was magically messaged in, that would know. That's all I was asking.
I figure because the fleet is their fleet is so much bigger than ours, even if they aren't wiped out and are still engaged in combat, they can still land and fight the fleet at the same time.
Yeah, he just wants to know what the odds are at the moment. Let's just say they took a pounding. They're not completely wiped out, but they've certainly been hit very hard. And
So
they
in other
are
words,
scattered as a result.
Yeah.
Yeah, so most of the light ships are gone. Maybe. So we probably have a few frigates left, a few men of war,
Yep,
and maybe a dreadnought.
exactly.
But other than that, and they're on the run from whatever's chasing them.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. It's ugly, and you knew it. You knew it would be ugly. Their job was to slow them down and take out as many of them as they could. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to know how bad. So. Just something to keep in the back of my mind. Remember, Arian's the tactical and strategic thinker all the time. So
We're getting beat like a redheaded stepchild.
Yep.
Yeah.
I figured that was the case. I just wanted to know how bad of a redheaded stepchild we were being.
Yeah, the anvil's gone. The hammer hasn't struck yet.
Stretch asks, I guess they have their logistics stuff on board, or do they have a set aside supply ship? They do tend to carry their logistics stuff on board simply because of the distances involved. But there are supply ships when you're doing planetary defense. So that is a thing, Stretch. Yes, you have supply ships. Right? There are probably some ships among the Fomorian fleet that are also being used primarily as supply ships. They wouldn't be defenseless, but they would have stuff, right? Simply because of the distance being traveled. So.
Yeah.
But it would be
Good
things
night,
like
everybody.
where their armaments would be reduced to a minimal effect to make more room, Everything's a warship, though. Yeah, damn,
Yeah.
thought so, he said. Yep. Yep, it's ugly.
This is supposed to be the first major loss, so
Oh, Blake and Dawn are off?
Okay, good night.
Yeah, we're
Good
going
night,
to bed.
guys. Fair enough.
Night.
Absolutely. We'll see you next week. And we'll see everybody else next week. And who shall we raid, my friends?
Oh, that's a good question. Who's up?
World War II Wolfpack. Would it work? Maybe.
Oh, we got Copy, who's writing, or Pride, who's playing RimWorld.
I also have Ilaria Dane, who's a writer.
I'm cool with raiding into writing streams I don't know from a writing stream, but not from a gaming stream.
That's fair.
Well, I raided Coffee earlier, I raided Pride earlier today, so let's raid Coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, run your idea by me there, Stretch, the World War II Wolfpack idea, how you intend to manifest that. It's entirely possible. And people would listen to Evolith in terms of advice. They know that they may not, okay, the princesses may not know who he really is, but they know he has a fair bit of experience and a real, understanding of combat. They listened to Arian when he was enlisted. They would listen to him. Not entirely sure, but we can work on it. Yep. Okay. Absolutely. If you have an idea, run it by me. You would have had time to suggest it, and people might do it.
Oh. Stretch, you said Wolfpack. Thanks. My grandfather was actually part of that.
Huh.
I only recently found that out.
Neat.
Like in the last couple of years, so.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight, and I'm sorry for the short game, but I think it'll be better overall. Toy Soldiers Old School is game mastered in this case by Sable Aradia, created by Diane Morrison. Character images provided by Hero Forge, audio and video provided by Zoom, sound effects and ambience provided by Sirenscape, music provided by White Sand. Check out his Patreon at patreon.com/whitesand. Mapping software provided by Campaign Cartographer 3+, World Spinner, and Incarnate with adaptations in Adobe Photoshop. Gaming software provided by Fantasy Grounds, Hero Lab, and World Anvil. Check out our campaign at www.worldanvil.com/w/Toy Soldier Saga. The Toy Soldier Saga is copyright 1995, I think. Yes, 95 by Diane Morrison, all rights reserved. Tomorrow is our day off for streaming. We will be back on Tuesday with Ask an Old GM, starting at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. in the UK and UTC, and math 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday for those of you in Australian Eastern Time. The raid call is prepared to be boarded. We are going to go see Coffee Quills right now. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. I actually had a great time despite the various weirdnesses, and we will see you next week for the Battle of Evergleam. Have a great time zone, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.